Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. Going to get some insight. And I've always wondered about this. If you've heard of Reiki energy healing, people are trained to do that, but you can actually, on some level, do it yourself using your energy, your hands to heal yourself and also to heal others. Actually going to get a demonstration, as I understand it today, of how this whole thing works. And this is part of what she does. Her business is Beyond the Veil. And among other things, she's a Reiki practitioner and also a medium, and she's our professional of the year. Kim Smith joins us. Welcome back. How you doing?
Hi, Steve. I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well. Very well. Good to have you back here. I know we might have skimmed this previously. So before we get into the energy healing aspect of things, mediumship, psychic medium, if you will, it's about energy. How do you describe yourself in that category as a medium? Are you somebody that can connect to those on the other side?
Yes, I connect to those on the other side. I have a bachelor's degree in metaphysics, and what this allows me to do is to look at the body in a holistic manner. So we're not only looking to heal the body, but we're looking to heal the mind and the spirit as well. Being a medium is all about intention. And when you're doing healing, it's about intention as well.
I feel that you being a medium, when you work with somebody to help them heal, it's almost as if you got a running start in terms of what needs to get done because you're already feeling something. And not to say that, energy healers, Reiki practitioners aren't good, but it seems like you have a, little advantage there in terms of being able to pick up on somebody. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. There's very quick and easy methods for people who are not Reiki 1, 2, or 3 or masters, that our bodies are energy. And our bodies are full of electricity. And when you combine that electricity with healing intention, you get something quite powerful. And for me, being a medium, yes, it's easier for me when I'm scanning the body to zone in on any trouble areas. So, yeah, I do have a little bit of an edge.
Hmm. I might have said this last time, but I'm going to say it again. If you're ever getting anything on me and you want to use me as a test example, uh, I have no secrets. I'm fully transparent. I give you permission. Just putting that out there.
Well, that always is helpful. That always is very helpful. Uh,
Does does that happen for you? Like if you walk into a grocery store, are you picking up on somebody's vibration or whatever they got going on?
oh my gosh, yes. Standing in the grocery line, checking out. I, unfortunately, I get it all. And sometimes you just want to check out, and that's all you want to do. But yeah, I pick up on a lot of stuff.
How do you shut it down?
Um, you kind of ignore it. The best
Mhm.
way to do it is just ignore it and continue doing what you set out to do. Or you're checking out at the grocery store and you're picking something up from the person in front of you or behind you, acknowledge it and let it go.
Must take a lot of discipline. Yeah, I guess you're standing in line, you're picking up on something, and now you have to get something to maybe refocus your mind. So now you process, or you pivot over to putting the grocery items on the conveyor belt, or just get out of your head the medium side of you.
Well, sometimes it's a great thing. It can be a wonderful thing because you could be picking something up from the person in front of you or behind you. They might need help.
Yeah.
It could be somebody who needs a helping hand going through there. Maybe they don't quite have all the money to pay for their groceries. Maybe you can help them out that way. Or maybe they have some kind of a disability or an emotional problem. You just never know who's standing in front or behind you. And sometimes when you have this gift, it can be a blessing to somebody else.
So when we talk about energy healing, maybe we should just before we even get into a demonstration of how we can use that to heal ourselves and others. Um, what's actually going on? When it comes to Reiki, what I've experienced it before. It's wonderful. I've even gotten proof of how this actually really does work. Um, don't even need to get into that. Tell us how that works. And, in terms of what's going on there when you're doing Reiki on somebody.
Well, like I said, our bodies are full of electricity,
Mm,
and we can use this electricity to comfort and to heal ourselves as well as others. You don't have to be a Reiki master or go for any specific lessons. It's always good if you can do that. But let's say you're a cancer survivor. Let's say somebody in your family is a cancer survivor or suffers from a chronic illness or maybe has chronic pain. It's a great tool to have. It's kind of like, you don't have to go to massage therapy school to know how to massage somebody. And I'm here today to tell people that you can comfort people and use Reiki, even though you haven't gone to school for it. It's not some mind-blowing magical thing that only certain people can do. Anybody can do it. What goes on during it? Intention is everything. If you have someone who is suffering with chronic pain or a chronic illness, of course, you love that person, you care for that person. If you can provide some kind of comfort for them, you're going to do it. Um, so, what goes on is you learn how to hone into this energy and you learn how to transport it into someone else to provide them relaxation, comfort. And if you continue to do it, there is a certain level of healing that does go on.
mm. Um, Time for an example. How do we do this?
It's very, very simple. Our hands are a conduit. And so, what I like to tell people, and you can try this yourself, Steve, and people who are listening on the other end can try this. You take your two hands and you very briskly rub your palms together. And you do this for a few minutes. I mean, really briskly rub them together, okay? And do it for a few minutes. And then when you stop, you can stop. I want you to see if you feel some kind of an energy in your hands. Separate your hands from one another. And if you are doing it vigorously enough, you will feel some type of current or energy that runs through your hands. This is the energy that we need to use in order to scan the body and to help comfort and heal the body. So once you've rubbed your hands vigorously, and you can feel that energy. You want your subject to lay down comfortably in some loose fitting clothing, and then you can scan the body. You start at the top of the head, and
Hmm.
there are some people that are not into like having anyone just put their hands on them. The good news is that you can work off the body about an inch or so off the body. Just hover your hand over the body and very slowly go from head to toe and just scan the body with your hand. Now, what are the kind of things that you can feel? You can feel warm spots. You can feel tingling in your hand. You can feel cold spots. You can feel any number of things. But right now, you're just scanning the body. And usually, if someone has got a chronic problem, they'll tell you where they need you to put your hands. But sometimes it's very hard to distinguish if you have pain or discomfort in a number of places where you should stop. But I tell people it's at that point when you feel something in your hand that you need to place your hand on that part of the body or hover just an inch or so over the top, and you'll feel that inch or so over the top of the body. You'll feel an energy there. You will feel it. And you stay there and you place your hand there and you stay there until you intuitively know that it's time to move the hand, and then you continue to do the scan. But a lot of times, once you're doing the scan, if you find an area that needs attention, you can rest your hand on that area and keep it there. And this is where intention comes in. This is where your intent for healing, your intention to provide comfort to that person comes in. And you just keep your hand there and you focus on comfort, on warmth, on healing, on just bringing that person some peace. And when you're suffering from an ailment, you're looking for any opportunity that you can get for some peace. And you don't have to be a Reiki expert in order to provide this to yourself. You can do this whole scan on yourself as well, and provide healing and provide comfort for yourself. I always tell people, if you're having trouble falling asleep at night, take your hands, rub them together in that manner until you feel an energy current in them. That's a natural electricity in our bodies at work. And then place your hand on your solar plexus, on your center, and just keep it there. And you're going to notice that your hand is going to generate a tremendous amount of heat. I often have people tell me, wow, I can really feel, the energy and the heat coming off of your hand. And
Hmm.
this is where the healing is.
Um, Even on yourself, let's say you've got a trouble spot or you think you might, you're going to feel that too. You're going to
Oh,
feel,
oh, absolutely. If
hmm,
you've got shoulder pain, let's say, for instance, and you just need some comfort. You don't feel like popping a pill. You're tired of that. You want to try something different. Try this. Rub your hands together. Get the energy going. Place your hand on the troubled area and let it rest there. And you'll intuitively know. You'll feel the heat and you'll feel something going on if you tune in to your body, and you'll feel something happening, and you'll be very, very surprised when you decide to remove your hand from the area. You'll feel comfort. You may feel a better range of motion. um, you're doing something for yourself. It's called self-care. It's called loving yourself.
I'm going to tell you, I have a little thing going on with my leg and I was doing just what you said. And there's, there shouldn't be a reason for this. So I'm going to say right out of the gate. And when I run my hand over the area, I can feel heat from it.
Yes. So imagine now, if you start out where you're rubbing both of your hands together, and then you're taking your dominant hand after you can feel that friction and that tingling and energy in your hand, and placing it on your knee and keeping it there until intuitively you feel like, okay, I've had enough. You're going to feel your hand really heat up. And I think you're going to come away feeling comfort, and you'll be quite surprised at how much you can heal yourself with your own hands.
So, deep question coming. Can this be used to heal cancers, beginning stages of anything like that?
This can be used to help heal cancer, to provide comfort. If you're getting cancer treatment, there's a litany of symptoms that go along with whatever the treatment is that you're getting. It depends on what it is, but you may have nausea. There may be other problems. Uh, yes, absolutely. I know many, many clients that are suffering from chronic illnesses or receiving cancer treatment, that go to a Reiki therapist or have someone in their family who knows how to do these things, and they find great deal of comfort. It really helps them through their journey.
I want to share with everyone, for those that think this is kind of woo woo, does this really work? Many hospitals, surgical suites have a Reiki practitioner in them and they do Reiki before surgery. And
That's
it's
right.
not for the patient alone, it's for the doctors so that they have the right mind frame and mindset. The energy is going where it needs to go, guiding their hands. And this is what I understand. It's not done on a more regular basis, not because the people, doctors, and everybody don't believe in it. It's not done because insurance companies won't allow somebody else in these areas.
Yeah, and that's a shame.
It
It's
is.
a real shame. There are very few insurance companies that will pay for these type of holistic treatments. But I am optimistic that more of these type of holistic metaphysical forms of care will become um, more available and covered more.
Mm.
I'm optimistic about that.
It's interesting when you think about that, where, they put out a medication and, that's approved. And where did that begin? It was 300 people in trials and they got some data, and then that was it, and the medication seems to work and that's all good. But what about doing some trials on Reiki and getting a baseline for that? You never hear that happening.
No, you don't. And there needs to be more research in this
Agree.
area. Absolutely. We need to do more research in this area. And I think, some blind studies and the results of that would really show the value, the true value of this type of care.
I agree. Can you give an example, Judy, of when you've worked with somebody on the energy healing side of things and what they were dealing with and how you helped and support them?
Yeah, I've had many uh, people that are going for cancer care and cancer treatment. I tell them to schedule sessions on a regular basis in between their treatments because it helps them get through the next stage of whatever their treatment is. It provides comfort, it takes away a lot of discomfort. Um, it also, there's something very therapeutic that goes on in the mind at the same time. You're treating the whole body, you're treating the whole mind, you're treating the whole spirit.
Mm.
You're doing something loving and caring for yourself by having these treatments. There's a lot to be said about that. If you can say, okay, I'm on this journey, it's not an easy one, but I'm going to do whatever I can to find ways that I can cope and strategize and help my own healing. And this is where these type of energy healing and light work, as I call it light work because most of the time when we're envisioning healing, we're envisioning a bright light. Um, in our process, or we're envisioning like a really warm iron that's pressing down on something and releasing, healing energy. So it's a whole body experience.
Do I have this right? You became a Reiki master at the age of 32?
That's correct. I became a Reiki master when I was 32 years old.
Wow.
And yeah, which was, a little bit later in life, but that's when the Lord introduced it to me. And it was good for me. It was good for me then. And it took me several years to get through all of the training, but was well worth it because there's nothing more valuable than providing comfort to people that are struggling.
Mm. I love your passion for all of this. And uh, this is nothing new for you. And I'm wondering if I have this right, but your mother and your grandmother both were intuitive mediums and healers. Is that right?
It skipped my mom. It was my great grandmother,
Ah,
my grandmother skipped my mom and then came to me. And now it's gone on to my niece. So my niece is really at the very early stages of recognizing her gift. And I believe she will have other gifts as well. But everybody is different. It's up to her. She's a mother. She's very into her family, my niece, and she's got some young some young kids, and one of them who has special needs. So her focus is really on that more than her abilities. But I do mentor her, and just in the early stages of just acknowledging that she has these gifts. Once you acknowledge that you have a gift, whether it be to help heal someone mentally, physically, spiritually, acceptance is a big part of it in the beginning. A lot of people don't accept it, don't want to accept it, or can't accept it. So in the beginning, mentoring people who have gifts, you have to have that desire to, want to grow in it. So, yeah,
Mm.
it's gone on to the next generation in my family.
Now, even though it skipped your mom, was she a believer? Was she on board for all of this?
Yes, she was. She was very much a believer. Um, she was very supportive in my gift. Um, but she just didn't have any desire for it herself. Could
Mm.
she have had it? Maybe she did and didn't even know it. I don't know. I often said that.
Mm.
Mom, you probably have the gift, but you're just shoving it down. You're
Mm.
not.
Hmm.
You're not into it. Um, because there's always, telltale signs. Just being extremely intuitive, being extremely empathetic, like you and I talked about the last time I was on the show. There's a lot of people out there that are very empathetic. You were telling me about your daughter. So, you know, there are a lot of people out there that have the gift, and that's why it's so important that I wanted to share today about being able to heal others and ourselves because we have these abilities. It says right in the Bible that God gives us many abilities that He has, and I think a lot of people don't recognize that for what it really is.
I love that and I appreciate it. And this is nothing new, what we're talking about here. Maybe they only really started talking about Reiki at, turn of the last century, 1900s, right around there, if I remember correctly in the history. But it was going on way, way, way before that. This is how people healed. This is how it was. All same thing with plant medicine, herbals. All that's what they were doing. And then we kind of got away from all of that. Um,
Yes, we did. You're absolutely right. Yes, we did.
yeah, and there's a place for modern medicine, but there's also a place for what we're talking about. And again, back to the example of Reiki masters being in surgery suites. Why are they in there? Because it works.
It works, and
Yeah.
so and so does hypnosis. Hypnosis can be very, very therapeutic for dealing with pain, especially when you're going into a surgical situation. So, yeah, I think if you combined metaphysical care and techniques with modern medicine, you really come up with something potent.
Mm. Thank you for sharing today. Just fantastic. We have the power. Let's use it. Let's heal. Judy, how do we connect with you? If somebody wants a reading, even if it's Reiki, how do they find you?
Oh, Steve, my name's Kimberly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, uh,
Maybe maybe Judy's the next person you're going to be speaking with.
you know what? There's a reason for everything. There's a reason for everything. I don't know where that came from. Uh, Kimberly, how do we connect?
How do we connect with?
You, is it just go to your website?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can go to my website, which is beyond the Vail.com, or you can reach out to me directly. I believe there's a phone number on my website as well. You can certainly fill out a form with any questions. Um, you can get in touch with me the easiest way through my website.
Kim, thank you for today. And we did go a little bit beyond the veil in terms of revealing how healing actually works and practice it. What do you have to lose?
You
You
have
know,
everything to gain and nothing to lose.
exactly. And if you're going through, some pain here and there, um, like you said, rub your hands, create the energy, and target the spot and do it for others as well. Thank you so much. We'll catch up next time. Okay.
Thank you, Steve. Talk to you again.
Thanks, Kim. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.